Okay, this screencast is about a logo. So we're gonna want a logo for website, whatever we're doing. Specifically for this, it's design education, um, and so I just want to go through and show you some helpful things that I found helpful, and some tools that are available to you in Illustrator when you want to design a logo. As with everything, it's important first to draw and to sketch logos. Um, as with everything, that's really, really, really important and will be very helpful to you in the end. Um, my last name is Wright, and so I thought I wanted to do something with that, kind of a play on words, I guess. And so this is the design that I kind of came up with, and the one that I think I'm gonna keep. Simple. Um, so Write designs, and the check mark to me is, when you've done something right, or you check it when you like something. And so that's why that's there. First, what I did was I Googled Write, but I spelled it Right, just to see, and I looked at the images just to see what kind of images came up. There were a lot of street signs. And then I also Googled design, and I looked at images that came up with that. Just to see if anything sparked my interest. That was kind of where I looked. Also, I've looked at other logos to get an idea. Um, Now, what I did here, I just, typed Write designs. And to get this arrow, or I'm sorry, this check mark. First, what I did was I played around with some of the drawing tools. There's a spray painter that I used um, just to see how that would work. And this was one, well, these are all ones that I did just with the spray painter, just to see. What I kind of wanted to go for was I didn't want a mechanical look to my design. Um, and so I thought if I spray painted it or drew it, that would be helpful. And I like this, but it wasn't quite what I was going for. There's also this pen tool that we can use. And this tool is really neat. You make um, angular um, shapes, and it fills it in, and it's just really neat. You can do so much with it. Um, so that was another, thing to try and do my check mark. Um, and what I came up with was I'm not very artistic and creative at all. Which you may be like, yeah, look at your design. Of course you're not. So what I did, which worked for me, was I had the spray painter and I went to symbols. And they have a lot of symbols that you can look through. There's a libraries menu here. You can look through them, and I found this check mark. And so when you click on the check mark, and then you just click and it's there. And what I like about this is that you can make it bigger. You can rotate it, if we're going for a certain angle. Um, we can also change the color of it. And this works for me because, like I said, I'm not very creative, and um, I get very frustrated when I have to do things like this. So, but there are so many options for those of you who are creative and really enjoy these things. I also wanted to show you we can do a show grid. And so here, let me zoom in. We've got the grid, and what I can do with this, you want to have a snap to grid, because when you have a snap to grid, that means whatever you do, um, it'll go to the grid. It won't just kind of be like a free shape, and that's going to be really helpful for you. Um, it's really good for like boxy things. So Like if I've got this tool here, and then I can just copy and paste that if I've got something really boxy that I want to do. Um, so that's really helpful. I'm gonna hide this. So that's view, show, and hide grid. Um, and at this point, I wouldn't worry about being really nitpicky and getting the right whatever. You want a quality and you just want the idea right now of what you want to do, so we can refine it later. Um, and what's nice about this project is um, we're not tied down to a specific name. You know, I get to come up with the name, you get to come up with the name. When you do start designing for companies, they'll most likely have a name that they give to you, and you have to come up with a logo for that. But this is very open and free, which is very nice. Something else, the last thing that I want to talk about is as I go on this, sometimes the computer doesn't always get right the spacing in between the lines, and it looks very amateurish if you have, you know, too many spaces in between um, letters. And so all you do is you can push your Alt Option button and the arrow button, and that just, you know, sometimes you'll have too many or not enough in between, and so it's just a good tool to know, um, and something to keep your eye out for because the computer doesn't always get it right. Um, and so anyway, back to my design. Um, what I wanted was something that did not look very mechanical. And so my font, the font that I use is a font called Marker Felt. Um, I wanted it not mechanical, but then I like the check in the background because that is kind of a computer. Well, it is a computer um, issue design. So I've got the handwritten, which to me is like designing, and the check mark, which I really like. So that's my design. I encourage you to just spend lots of time with Illustrator. That's going to be your most helpful tool, is just to spend time with it, see what you like, what you don't like. Um, and I hope you enjoy, and I hope this video was helpful too.